Hi, everybody. I'm the RV Wingman. Thank you for joining me around this virtual campfire. Hope you're doing well today. I'm really excited about introducing you to a new friend of mine in the RV industry, someone I am very impressed with. If you have ever felt like just another number when buying an RV, like the RV dealership only cared about making the sale and not really about you, well, you need to meet Tony Frerking. Tony is not your typical RV dealer. No, he is not. Tony is self-made. Tony is passionate. He is authentic. And let me tell you something, this man is unstoppable. His dealership is not about high pressure sales tactics and gimmicks and chasing the lowest price and seeing how many deals he can write. No way. Instead, Tony's dealership is about providing the best ownership experience possible and treating customers like family for as long as they RV. You know something? In fact, Tony doesn't even call them customers. He calls them clients. Now, I came across Tony after his dad reached out, sent me an email telling me about his son's dealership. It did catch my attention, so I started doing a little bit of digging around. And you know what? I was blown away. So while watching today's video, let me ask you this. Does your RV dealer have the passion that Tony has? Is your RV dealer this involved? Are they willing to stand behind what they sell and treat you like a valued client instead of like just another sale? Let's find out what makes Tony Frerking different and why he might just be the next dealer to earn the RV Wingman's full endorsement. I am so glad that your dad sent me an email to tell me about you. You have no idea. I've been looking for somebody on the West Coast. I didn't know you honestly, I had never heard of your dealership and didn't know anything about it. But it was because your dad was a viewer and he was kind enough to say, hey, you might want to check out my son. So I have done a little bit of homework. This is kind of, Tony, this is kind of like an interview, if you will, because I really care. I know you do. I care about the people that I recommend and refer RVers to. And so more than selling an RV dealership, I just want to learn about you. Tell me a little bit about you and your dealership, and we'll just take it from there.
Well, basically, we spent a long time in the mortgage industry. That's where we came from. And during the mortgage industry, we were in there for 12 years. My wife and I, we've always worked together. We have a long history together. We've been together 35 years now. We've always worked together. I'm not a brilliant one. I just like to work. I like to take care of people. We started in the mortgage industry. After that, we had a passion for RVs. I started selling RVs. The problem that we ran into in that part of the process was that I couldn't do it the way that I was expected to do it. And what I mean by that is, having that invisible touch, having something going from real estate to wheel estate, I called it. The sales wasn't bred into me. I wasn't a natural sales guy. I don't think I think the transactional part of the job I wasn't really good at. It was more the relationship part of it. So
yeah,
after doing that and working for a very short time for an RV dealer, actually, we looked into opening up our own establishment, and that's where the Referral Auto Group came from. It was during the time of November 2010 when we decided to make this transition. And during that type of economy, when we were just coming out of the mortgage crisis and everything, I thought we had to sell more of a need base, which was cars. So we started a high-end consignment shop, purchasing some cars, only one owner cars, very clean, never any auction stuff from private parties as well. But we brought in a lot of consignments. From there, our passion for RVs kind of started, for selling them. We've always been in the RV lifestyle, you can say. So we've always camped, we've always owned an RV. But getting into it, we started selling them. We were in a very small facility doing so. And so
what was it about RVs that made you jump from the mortgage business into RVs? Did something happen when you worked at another dealer that you go, man, we could do this, we could maybe even do it better? Or what was going on?
It did. And instead of selling a product, I sell a lifestyle. I sell the story. I sell the dream of doing it. I sell what it can give a family. When a family comes in to see us now, and the kids walk in with them, this is a family decision. This isn't buying a car. And so selling the more outcome, the more the story, the memories that the RV can provide is where we kind of base it off of. So being transactional instead of relational just wasn't for me. Unfortunately, that's where a lot of them, there's great dealers out there. Alan, I don't want to say that there isn't good dealers out there. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them doing stuff that we're not reinventing the wheel. We just treat people the way that they want to be treated. And, just the attraction to RVing to me is that, people used to come and sit with me during the mortgage transaction, say I'm buying a cabin. And I'd be just, are you sure you want to go to the same place over and over and over again? I said, listen. Yeah. And so I'd sell the idea.
You're trying to talk them out of it. It sounds like
I did. I talked myself out of business. But it just because that going to the same place over and over again isn't that exciting. There's no excitement to it. So traveling in an RV, in booking those memories that you can look back on, that's the best part of it. That's the best part of the RV lifestyle is looking back. Going on trips and everything else is great. The best thing I ever did was get all the pictures and all of the memories that I have with our daughter and looking back.
You sent me some pictures of, I've got a bunch of them now to look at, and I scanned through some of them. You're an RVer. I mean, you're not just kind of a little bit of an RVer. You're a crazy RVer.
So I'm an RV junkie, and I have a license plate that says RV junkie on it, and I'm legally dealing my drug. And so, when I say that, we have personally owned 32 RVs, and we've made 31. I don't want to say buying mistakes. We've attributed 31 different transactions to make me qualified to help people buy the right RV.
Because you make a lot of mistakes, 31, 32 RVs, but every one, I tell people there is no perfect RV. And if you think it's perfect now, just own it for 6 months. You're going to go, oh, I wish we would have, maybe they ought to.
Yeah. And Alan, I have a sickness. It's called change in progress. And so I'm addicted to change in progress. So we see a different RV come in. It was too expensive to be the addict. I had to become the dealer. And so we bought 16 RVs from dealerships, and a lot of them were very pleasurable. But then some weren't. So we have based our establishment around the experience of our client. I don't have customers. The customers are a short-lived transaction. We have clients, and when I say that, I take a personal responsibility to each and every person that purchases here, so much that they have a 24/7 cell phone number to either text or call me. And, case in point, 2 nights ago, we delivered an RV to Nevada. He just got it delivered that morning. He texted me at 8:45 at night, said, "Are you up?" I said, "Yep." And we got on the phone, conquered an issue, got it solved for him. He was happy. So that's the part that I like. Selling an RV, anybody can do that.
Yeah.
People go for the cheapest price, and the cheapest price, that's great, but what's the cost? The price and cost are two different things.
And we're going to get into that in a second about price and cost, but it seems to me that what you do is something that the big chains can't do. And you don't want to be a big chain store. You're more of a boutique, if you will, very, very focused, and you don't sell 1,000 RVs a year, but the ones you sell, those people are happy.
Correct. And the success, the secret to our success, the secret sauce, if you want to say, is we work with manufacturers we can depend on. And I'm only as successful as the manufacturers backing my product. I do not sell a product I wouldn't own. In fact, Shasta Phoenix is one of our brands. We've been selling them since 2017. We've owned 2 personally. And I don't just use them on the lot. When I say we owned, we bought, we loaded our stuff in them, and we have plenty of pictures enjoying those RVs. So, I mean, it truly is a passion, but when you come in here, we are more of an RV boutique. We cater your visit to you. Our average visit is 3 hours. And as bad as this may sound, Alan, to a lot of people, I don't mean to sound cocky, but I don't need your business. I value it. I don't care if you buy from me. What I do care about is doing what's right for you, being personable, helping somebody. I've even sent them to a neighboring dealer saying, hey, that Grand Design, Reflection has that little wraparound booth in the very back end. I am an RV junkie. I know what RVs are out there. I know how they're built. I know what ones are good. I know what ones are not. But I'll send them elsewhere. You know why? Because I'll come up around the campfire. That's what I want. We're blessed enough to have a very successful establishment or business, you could say, to where I don't have to have commission breath when they walk in here. You know, commission breath stinks. You can tell that person when they greet you at the door. But you know, if you're walking in with kids, your kids should be known. Your kids should be known. When a family walks in, I want to know the whole family. I don't look at the mom and dad because that's who's buying. The kids are just as important. The kids in the transaction have to feel important. And not only that, when they feel important, they have a great time and they're not running around, you know? So it helps the parents to really hone in on what they want, and you employ them. I employ the kids when they come here. They work for me while we're out there on the lot.
You get them doing something, getting them engaged, and it makes them buy into the whole process. One of the things that you do, I guess you still do, is these clinics, these workshops where you invite people in. And I had that idea years ago before the pandemic, and then that kind of shut everything down. But you're doing it now still, and talk to the people. You know, the people watching this. I think it's so critical to do the kind of thing that you're doing because you tell the truth.
Right. And I'm not a public speaker by any means, and by any stretch, but I know what I would want when I walk into a place. And so we have put together a seminar called the Educated Buyer Army for the Journey Ahead. We're now conducting them the first Saturday of every month. We bring in a very intimate group for 2 hours on a Saturday, feed you coffee and donuts. Not any of it is any kind of promotional event for us. What we do is we teach you how to buy the right RV from A to Z. We cover your truck specs, the trailer specs, the perfect marriage between the two. Because a lot of times, you know, you walk onto a dealership's lot and someone will say, "What do you drive?" And they'll say, "I got a diesel." You know what the most common reply is? "Oh, you can tow anything." Well, you know what? Your insurance company might have a little difference of opinion on it.
Yeah.
If something happens. So we teach them that. And then we cover financing, whether now is a good time to buy. You know, the whole marry your payoff and date the rate thing. You know, rates to me come and go. If you can get a great deal on something and you marry that payoff, if incentives are high and prices are low, when does that happen? When rates are high and the demand is low. So buy now, marry that payoff, date the rate. When the rates come down, refi. You get to realize the savings for life, though. So people, they have a different, just a different focus,
So you're not putting the arm on them when they come to you. What do you call it? The class? What do you call them?
Called the Educated Buyer Arming You for the Journey Ahead.
Arming for the Journey Ahead.
2 hours. We don't even want them taking notes. I provide them all the notes when they walk out.
You're doing it. You're teaching it.
Yeah, I'm doing it myself. It's a PowerPoint presentation that I created myself. Our logo is nowhere on it. It has nothing to do with us. Everything to do with them, as a transaction should. When you walk into a dealership's facility, it should be all about you. This is all about you. It has nothing to do with them. And you'll be able to distinguish who you're in the company of, whether it's fellow RVers and campers, or if it's somebody that just got out of a sales meeting and got a hot sheet that these are your hot RVs you're going to get paid the most on, and that's now going to become the best RV for them. So they make a horrible purchasing decision that's perfect for the sales guy. And now they're into an upgrade. To me, an upgrade is admitting you screwed up. That's what an upgrade is.
Yeah.
If you work with the right person, you should be able to be allowed the time. There was one time a gal walked onto the lot. We spent 3 hours together. And she goes, "I want this one." I said, "I'm not selling it to you." And she says, I said, "I'll tell you what, go home and think about it tonight. And if you want it in the morning, we can do this in the morning." I didn't hear from her. 6 months later, she calls me and she says, "You kind of took me by surprise, or kind of upset me that night." And I said, "Well, by the look on your face, I kind of knew it, but I felt I was still doing the right thing." She goes, "I went and bought one that night." I said, "Okay." And she says, "I hate it." Because I told her, "I think you're more of a hotel and suitcase. I don't think you're going to enjoy just spending the time with you. I do not think this is going to be wise of you. Go think about it." And I told her, "I think you need a little Class B." She was a bird watcher. I said, "You can't pull over with this monstrous fifth wheel on the side of the road and take pictures of some birds real quick and jump back on the road." I said, "Get yourself a little B." I don't sell them. and that's what you need. So 6 months later, she says, "Will you buy the RV?" I said, "You're going to lose your shorts." And she says, "Well," I said, "let me consign it for you. At least let me consign it. You'll make more. I'll be your real estate agent." And I said, we'll get rid of this thing, and then we'll worry about getting you a Class B. So I sent them to a neighboring dealer. They got their Class B. We sold their trailer. But it's about doing the right thing. and they're going to remember that more times than not. You read our reviews and we come up over and over and over and over again. You can't please everybody. We don't have a perfect slate. I think I have 2 bad reviews and I love them. I love them. I cherish them just as much because it shows we're real.
Because it shows you care and they care. And I've always said that, anybody can sell an RV, but it's the people behind the dealership. It's after you roll out of the parking lot, you better have you will have a relationship with that dealer, whether you want to or not. And having a good relationship is a whole lot better when you start out by making the right decision.
And I'll tell you what, so going back to price versus cost, Alan, there's a price of an RV. A lot of people say, what's your best price? And I say, listen, all prices aside, I know I'm not the cheapest. I can't be, and I won't be. But what I do is I rate the highest in other areas that are going to add the value after I go. Can we agree that all horror stories, every horror story with an RV dealer is based around service, very rarely around the sale. So if you have the cheapest business model in the front, you can't have the best business model in the back. You can't afford to. But the price of the RV is not very important when the cost is now costing you the enjoyment. I mean, this isn't a car. You're buying this for the enjoyment of your family. Don't pay the most expensive price. Don't go get mugged, but make sure you're getting the best value. And if you have somebody sitting in front of you that's telling you, hey, I'm going to give you a good, fair deal. I'm not going to chase somebody to the bottom because my 35-year tech in the back, you read our service reviews and go read the service reviews of the person you're putting me up against. I can't be that person. There's the Motel 6 and there's the Ritz-Carlton. They do the same thing. It's just different people. And that's
who is your customer? Who's your customer, Tony? If you had to, the demographic, because I don't think it sounds to me like the first time RV buyer, they don't know what they don't know. And it's only when they say, oh my God, we made this mistake. Like the woman you were talking about. That's when they say, okay, in the future, Tony's my guy. They don't even shop around. Probably they just go to you.
Yeah. We're a destination dealership. We're not on the side of a freeway, kind of by design, but kind of not. My dad made the introduction with you. We're kind of an RV dealership with a car dealership name, but we have a resume I don't want to move away from. But we're a destination. So we're pretty much 100% referral. I mean, a lot of our business is repeat clients, referrals. We have an ambassador program. I got 12 very special people. All my clients are special. These people camp all the time. They have a sticker on the back. In fact, this is on the back of their RV. Now, this gets them special.
Keep it up there. Keep it up there so I can look at it. Referral Auto Group. Go ahead and talk. I just wanted to see it.
So this gives them extra benefits in our service department, as well as, and they proudly put this on the back of their RV. And when they're in campgrounds, they have a code of conduct, which we like because they're associated with us. But these people are selected to help spread the word, because referrals, I love working with referrals. I love working with everybody. But when you ask what our typical client is, we work with repeat offenders as well as first-time buyers. And we treat them all the same. Even repeat offenders come to our course, my little seminar, and I bribe them to come. I said, come on, you got to come. I said, I've made 31 buying mistakes. I'm more than you. And that makes me qualified. If anybody, I'm the least qualified to own a business, Alan. I'm not a smart guy. But what I do is I take care of people. And I tell them, come to the seminar. And if you don't learn anything, I'll give you a $50 gas card. I'll give you $50. You can go pay for your gas, but you can eat donuts, have Starbucks coffee. And when they're done, the most common thing that I hear is, I never thought of that. I talk about where your window's at. Where are your windows? What do you see? People don't think of that. Okay, I got this rear bunkhouse. I got one little window above my kitchen sink that looks out into my campground, and everything looks at my neighbors. I can't even see my kids out there. Bunkhouses mean kids.
Yeah.
I can't sit in here and have my coffee and watch my kids. I got to go outside. Hey, do you have a curtain or a door? Is there a bedtime? Your bedtime. Let's talk about all this stuff. When the slides are in, can you get to the bathroom and travel? Now, us guys, and we stand 75% of the time, so the rest stops aren't as unattractive as they are to our wives and our daughters,
Yeah.
So can you get to the bathroom with all the slides in? These are things people don't think about when they're excited.
Tell me this. Tell me about your wife, because I know she is an integral part of your business. And how important is that? And what does that do? Make y'all different, unique, if you will, compared to other chains that just have people coming and going?
So when you come into our dealership and you come into our facility, the first person you're probably going to meet is me. I'm on the front lines. I'm in the office. My wife is basically the brains. I'm just the dumb guy running around talking to people and showing them RVs. They could probably replace me. You can't replace her. But as a team, we complement each other perfectly, and we give the support in the when it comes to warranty. She does warranty claims, so we don't have a warranty department, Alan. So when they have a warranty issue, they call me. I do their work order and everything. They don't even call my service department. I don't even want them in my service department yet. You bought from me. I want to hear when this RV fails you. I fill out the warranty claim. I send it to Christy, my wife. She submits it. We get approval within 24 hours. You're on our dealership lot, quickly. You're out of here in 72 hours if we can get you out. I don't want you here longer than 72 hours. And so
I got to say, Tony, I know I'm interrupting, but we could go, and I have a feeling we're going to have more repeat interview sessions. But I got to tell you, you are a warrior. You don't have, it doesn't seem like to me, you have people that you're playing the blame game. Well, it's them over there. You put it all on your shoulders, and I respect the heck out of that. I think RVers do too. Talk to me about expectations and having, I think a lot of buyers don't have realistic expectations. And it sounds like to me, you cut through the crap and tell them the truth,
So expectations are super important, Alan. And when they buy the RV, a lot of people think that we're with the manufacturer. We're not. We're a facilitator. We're more of their attorney, in fact, to fight their case for their warranty claims. But we make it very clear, even so much that they sign a disclosure, a letter from me to them during their sales paperwork stating our role in the warranty process, their role, the manufacturer's role, how it works. They even watch a video. So I show them about a 7-minute video while I'm up making copies of their sales paperwork that they sit and do with me. I'm the finance guy. So I am very controlling. I like to be involved in everything, but we set the expectations that they can rely on us, and we're gonna fight to the length that we can fight with the manufacturers to get stuff taken care of. We have a client right now, and our manufacturers are great. We don't have to fight with them. That's the thing. So while I sound like a hero, I'm not. I expect a lot. I have fired manufacturers. There are manufacturers I've fired. The ones I carry, we pick up the phone. They work with us. They trust us. The manufacturers truly want to fix their product. Where the failure lies, I feel, is with the dealer. Truly. I feel the dealers, that link of them not assuming the responsibility. Hey, Alan, I sold you an RV. I want to make sure you're not going to have, if I tell you you're going to buy an RV and have a flawless future, man, you're not, Tony's going to become a new 4-letter word. But what we can do is, a problem is only a problem with how it's dealt with. And if we can get you taken care of, we have what's called a fast lane. If you got something, hey, my water heater is not lighting, get over here. And they pull up in the fast lane, we walk right out there and we fix it. So yeah. But the expectations are very important, because we don't make the decision. We don't, all we can do is get on it as fast as we can, make sure it gets taken care of. We just had a client just 30 minutes before I got on here. Christy, my wife, was in the RV, and they came for one certain issue. Christy noticed wrinkling in some of the wallpaper and also some other blemishes in the RV. She went ahead and wrote that up too. And then she walked down there and showed them, hey, I also, because you're 4 days out from your warranty, I also saw this and this. That's all submitted. It's already all approved. We got you taken care of. So that's the expectation that they can, it's setting the expectations and realistic expectations, and what their role, our role, and the manufacturer's role, very clear right from the beginning. It's a huge part in our success.
Well, you are very involved in the business. And I've always, I've owned businesses my whole life, but I've always been it sounds like you and your wife. I'm there. If there's a problem, I'll be the first person you run into. You won't be hunting for me. If there's a problem, let's figure it out, because there will be a solution. We're not going to go in the back and have a fist fight. We're going to figure this thing out like grown-ups. And get through it. And that's how I built my business. Sounds like the way you're building yours. And why should somebody come to California to buy an RV from Tony and Christy? instead of going to one of those big chain stores, because California, the sometimes in the media you guys have a bad reputation and everything's so expensive. But I think there is a need, a desire by RVers to have somebody that they can just trust them.
Right. Yeah, and that's the price and cost. So you can get the cheapest price, but what's it going to cost you in the long run? My dad always says it takes 10% more to do it right the first time. Otherwise, you're spending 110% the second time. So you're gonna spend what you spent before, plus then go and get it from who you knew you can trust after you prove to yourself. Why set yourself up for that failure? But why would somebody want to come to California? Is we're going to roll out the red carpet. People have come here. We have also delivered them out of state, and we a lot of times share in that cost. But to be honest with you, Alan, they don't have to come to California. They don't have to. So to work with us, we did a virtual orientation. Now, some of the things that we do differently than a lot, I don't have any fees, nothing. I have sales tax and I have licensing. That's it. When you roll out here, you have a clean RV who you spent 2 to 3 hours doing an orientation with a licensed technician, not some kid off the lot that's going to go, this thing's fully hooked up to 50 amp service. You completely go through, and in fact, I published a little quick, video of pictures of a walkthrough orientation just recently. You get full propane, a free battery, and they roll out and they're ready to camp. So there's no extra fees. I think California, the reason that we're more money is because we're farthest away from the plants, and so our cost is just under $7,000 per RV touching the ground to get them. If they're towed behind a truck, we have to, by law, disclose that in our pricing, in our advertised pricing. That has to be in there. And you'd have to fact check this. I don't know how accurate this is. I'm told that other states, not all of them have to do that. They add it on after and say, here's destination charges, whatever. But you can get them cheaper, and there are great dealers out there. But I don't know that, and not to sound biased, I don't think that anyone will outwork me. That's the one thing I can tell you. Nobody will outwork me. Not saying nobody can do it as good or better. Nobody will outwork me. I will work my fingers to the bone to make sure that their transaction is everything they expect and exceed that. I want that interpersonal touch. I want that invisible touch that somebody can give you that you've been heard. I want to look at them. And that's why I'm not looking at the camera. My camera's up there. I'm looking at you. But I look at people in the eye. I make sure that they know they've been heard. I listen to what they want. And when they walk out of here, it goes just as I said it was.
Well, I know you sent me a bunch of materials and some videos, and I must say, you are a warrior. You are a worker. I mean, you have built your business literally with your own hands, welding and building and stairs and construction and all of it. I mean, you didn't have a silver spoon in your mouth and just say, yeah, I'll write a check for it. You guys built it from the ground up. And at the same time, you sold RVs, and you've done it all, and you continue to stay involved. And I am so proud to meet somebody that has got that work ethic. And I think that translates into your excellent reviews.
Well, and I think a difference is too, Alan, is my team, they're not employees. They're a family. Every Wednesday, you'll look at my hours online. You'll see we're closed from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. every Wednesday. That's not for a meeting. That's for all of us to get together and we learn how to live, and excuse my French, a badass life. I want them to live the best life that they can. So that's what we talk about. We talk about attitude. We talk about living the best version of you, killing off the old you, holding them accountable. We talk about all that stuff because I actually have a coach that I go to once a month. Everyone needs a coach, I feel, but that's how involved we are. And I'm the least qualified to do this. To be honest with you, I'm basically a high school dropout. Sophomore year, 3 high schools didn't really want me. I went later to get my diploma, but I just wanted to work. I wasn't a bad kid. I just wanted to work. I'm the least qualified to do something like this, but I'll tell you what, you only have to have 2 things. You have to care and you have to have a work ethic. That's it. And if you combine those 2 things, the sky's the limit. And we made it through COVID. And we bought this building, our facility, we bought it during COVID. I'm sitting in an office we built during COVID, and they shut me down. We still made it. I drive a Tacoma. I'm not a fancy guy. I just want, I care about, I talk to my team, whoever doesn't own a home, Let's get you in a home. I had a guy start with me 9 years ago, $10 an hour. That's when minimum wage was $10 an hour. Our first employee. I looked at Christy. I go, what do we do? How are we going to afford this?
Wow.
And I told him, in 3 years, I want you to own a home. He goes, okay. In 3 years, he owned a home. He got in, and we're not the savior. We didn't make that happen. He just took advantage of every opportunity. So having a team like that backing you, an unrecruitable team, will take you farther than anything else. It's a team effort. I couldn't do this by myself. I'm not the shining star here. It's me with the team, with the work of my team.
I don't know about you, but I think that was one heck of a conversation. I mean, you can feel Tony's passion in everything he says. He's not just selling RVs. He is building relationships, and he's working to help improve the reputation of the RV industry. And he truly stands behind every unit he sells. To me, that's the difference between a dealer who is in it for the long haul and one who is just looking for the next sale. So I'm going to ask you again. Does your RV dealer have the passion and commitment that Tony and his wife have? Do they? Do they care about you before, during, and after the sale? I don't know. Are they willing to take your late night phone call and personally walk you through with any questions you might have and fight for you if something goes wrong? If not, maybe it's time to start expecting more from your RV dealer. I'm going to be doing some more research for sure, but my search for a fantastic West Coast RV dealer may be coming to an end. I certainly hope so. Stay tuned, because if Tony's dealership earns my full endorsement, you're going to hear a lot about it. And if you know of an RV dealer who you believe should be among America's most trusted RV dealers, let me know if you would. Thanks so much for watching. Y'all be safe, have fun, play nice, and don't leave your good manners at home.